So today's question reads, at 14:30, after applying the mitten restraint to a client with dementia, the nurse asked the unlicensed assistive personnel to check the client. So which of the nurse's statements is best? At 16:30, offer the client a snack and a drink. At 16:30, remove the mitten restraint and immediately apply a wrist restraint. At 18:30, remove the mitten restraint and ambulate the client to the bathroom. And D, remove one restraint at 15:30 if the client cooperates. So if this is your first time seeing this question, go ahead, pause the video, read it again if you need to, and then press play to see the answer. So the answer for this is, and I know some of my students, most of you chose D for the answer. However, the answer is A, and we're going to look at the reason why the answer is A. So once a restraint is applied, the nurse must observe and monitor the client's physical condition and emotional state and response to the restraint at least every 2 hours. So during these 2 hours, during the 2-hour interval, the client should be offered food or liquid and should be assisted to the toilet if necessary. If the unlicensed assistant personnel provide these routine care, ensure that the restraint is applied correctly after care is being provided. Now, at 16:30, remove the mitten restraint and immediately apply a wrist restraint. The reason why B is not the answer is because if a different restraint is going to be applied, then the doctor needs to write the order. Because remember, whenever a restraint is going to be applied, the doctor needs to write what the diagnosis is and the type of restraint should be included in the order. So the nurse cannot just change the type of restraint. I want to add to this that many types of hand mittens are not considered restraint. However, when the mitten, as in this section here, is attached to the bed frame, whenever the mitten prevents the person from moving freely, then it is considered a restraint. So let's look at why C is not the answer. C says at 18:30, remove the mitten restraint and ambulate the client to the bathroom. The reason why is because 18:30 from 14:30 to 18:30, that's like what, 4 hours? That is too long. The client should be monitored. It should be documented every 2 hours. 18:30 is too long. So let's look at why D is not the answer. D says, remove one restraint at 15:30 if the client cooperates. My question to you is, who determines what the cooperation of the client is? Because my method or my understanding of if the client cooperates may be different from your definition of the client cooperating. So an assessment is needed in order to remove the restraint. In most facilities, there's a protocol that must be met, a list of what needs to be met before the restraint can be discontinued. So to say that, okay, I'm going to remove one mitten. If this is going to be a one-hand restraint, then an order needs to be written, because remember, the order is specific to the type of restraint that the client must be in. So to say remove one restraint at 15:30 if the client cooperates is not appropriate, because an order needs to be written for that. And again, who determines what cooperation means? An assessment is needed in order to remove the restraint. The client should meet certain criteria, and a new order needs to be written if the method and the mode and the type of restraint is going to be changed. So I hope this rationale was helpful. Again, please subscribe and comment below. So please feel free to reach out to us at Danvers Nursing Institute at 954-639-1191. Thank you so much for tuning in.